everybody, and welcome to the Positively Disney phone-in show. My name is Kimberly Bouchard, the author of the Positively Disney book series and the host for tonight's show. I want to welcome all my Twitch followers and my Facebook folks that have joined me this evening to find out a little bit about Christmas in the kitchen. What are the kitchens really like at Disney on the holiday season? I also wanted to let you know that anybody that would like to gift someone one of the Positively Disney books, you can actually order it through me and I would personalize the books for you. But I can only do that up until December 12th. So if you want to get a hold of me, just message me. You know where to find me on Facebook. And I'd be happy to do that for you to make it an extra special gift. Want to welcome my husband. Welcome to John also. And welcome to Toddy, who it's so funny. I was tagged to post those 10 photos 10 days or whatever. For some reason Toddy kept getting tagged with me. I finally figured out how to untag her in all my photos, but at any rate it was quite funny actually. I want to welcome everybody and thank you to my sponsor Michelle McKeown over at Years of Experience. If you want to reach her, she'll make a fantastic vacation for you. Deals with special needs, concierge, and the cool thing about it is you have access to her, text access to her while you're away on your vacation. She's at MMCKEOWN at themostexperts.com. Well, you guys, we are right around the Thanksgiving holidays, which I've always loved. Being from Canada, we celebrate Thanksgiving in October. But now that I live in the US, I'm so excited to continue celebrating Thanksgiving in November, leading into the Christmas season for our family. And I don't know about you guys, but I always think about baking and cooking at this time of year. And one thing that's a tradition in our family is gingerbread. And for any of you Disney folks out there that love gingerbread, there's a small, cute little gingerbread house at the Grand Californian at Disneyland, and it's so sweet. It's also got workshops that you can sign up for at the Grand Californian that you can actually make a smaller version of a gingerbread house to bring it home with you. And I was starting to think, I wonder how they would put that probably in a special box like they did the droids at Galaxy's Edge or something so that you could carry it on the plane or whatever back very carefully. But anyways, check it out if you're in the Disneyland, California area. And one of the amazing gingerbread houses that I've had the privilege to see on several occasions is now up at the Grand Floridian in Walt Disney World. It was actually open just a couple weeks ago on November 13th. That thing is huge and it's so cool. I think it's like would have been my dream to be a part of that gingerbread house, when I was a little girl. And something that was so amazing, get a load of this. So it took them a little over 2 months to mix, cut, bake, and assemble the gingerbread house. It has 5,089 shingles, 840 hours of work to create that. But get a load of this: 1,050 pounds of honey, 800 pounds of sugar, 600 pounds of chocolate, 600 pounds of powdered sugar, 140 pints of egg whites, and 35 pounds of spices. I don't know about you, but when I'm shopping the spice area, those little spices are pretty expensive. So I can't even imagine the cost of creating a house like that. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. But something that's really neat is that you can actually go in and you can buy chocolates, you can buy gingerbread, you can actually buy one of the little shingles that they make. John says he loves the gingerbread and anything cinnamon. It makes the house smell so good. Absolutely. Hi, Donna, my friend in California. Hi, Michelle. Welcome to the show. So gingerbread is a tradition in my family. And excuse me, I've caught a cold, so I might have to take a sip of water here and there. But anyways, we make gingerbread cookies, and I'll never forget. That was something I was really excited about when I was first having children, is to bake cookies with them and bake with them at Christmas. And I'll never forget my daughter's first Christmas that she could actually bake. She was 16 months old. Well, sort of bake. So I sat her in her high chair and with those little toy rolling pins, kind of taught her how to roll out a gingerbread cookie. all was good until I had to take it away and bake it, and she'd end up crying. So I had to do a few real quick gingerbread cookies so she could actually cut it, so we could switch it out and she could eat it. But I just love gingerbread cookies. And another thing that we like to make in our family are gingerbread houses. And I really want to show you something really special that has been one of my, I would say, favorite gifts from my youth, from my folks. But before I go on, welcome to Donna Joe that's joined us as well. So, anyways, one of my favorite gifts that I don't know if you guys have ever seen anything like this, because I don't recall seeing this anywhere else in my travels and shopping about. But here is an actual gingerbread house mold, and this is the log cabin side. And if you look at it, it's pretty heavy because it's cast iron. And then on this side is the Victorian house side. So what I do, because I used to be those ones that, I do a pattern and I cut it out on wax paper and stuff like that and bake it and hope to heck that it would glue together. I'd have to put a ton of that cream of tartar in there so that I could get my icing to adhere. But this was so easy because I could just lay out the gingerbread. Two, I have to do two on each side. If I'm doing a log cabin, I have to do two molds like that, and then the Victorian house, two molds like that, and it really works, and it's so special, and it's an easy way of doing a homemade gingerbread house. I don't know if any of you guys have done that before, but it's just really, really fun to do, and I will never forget opening that gift from my parents, and it was really heavy, and it was just, I was trying to figure out what it was. You always try to guess those gifts, and yeah, so that's something that I got that I use. Donna says Longaberger used to sell those. I have one too. She has one too. Oh my gosh, Donna. We'll have to do a gingerbread house bake off or something like that and figure that out. Well, anyways, I can't wait to get my guest on the line here. She was a sure, her and her husband actually were former chefs at Walt Disney World. And I'm really excited to find out sort of the ins and outs of behind the scenes in the kitchen. I've only been behind the scene in one kitchen, and it was on the cruise ship when you got a chance to tour the kitchen or whatever on the cruise ship. And it's absolutely massive. The refrigerator is massive. Everything about it is huge. And I don't remember much about it, but I remember being floored at how much food they actually go through. At any rate, I know everybody's kitchen gets busy at Thanksgiving and Christmas and over the holiday season. And so I am really curious to find out about what it's really like behind the scenes in the kitchen with our chef Kelsey. So we're just going to get her on the line, and just excuse me for a minute. I'm going to have a sip of water. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're just actually trying to reach Kelsey right now. And I think what we'll do is we'll just text her. I'll have my right hand guy here trying to text. So, something that I'm making next in my repertoire of food. So I did my gingerbread dough. I rolled it up into little tubes and put it in the refrigerator because it always works better when you chill it. But something that's also a little bit of a tradition in our family are gumdrop loaves. And they're one of our family favorites, but it's hard to find the regular sweet gumdrops. I can find a lot of the spicy ones, I've noticed. So I had a special order my gumdrops. They should be here. If not, they're being dropped at the front door by that little company called Amazon, where you can find everything. But at any rate, it's such a nice recipe, and it's from my aunt in Saskatchewan, Canada. And it's just like a nice cinnamon nutmeg loaf, and you put those jumbo size gumdrops in it. You can cut them up so they don't all sink to the bottom, and you can make a really nice. We make really nice little loaves, and we can kind of decorate them and give them away or whatever. And so that's another one of our kind of Christmas baking traditions. I'm just curious, some of you guys on here, Michelle and Donna and John, if you have any or have had any baking traditions in your family that of recipes. But we're gonna give Kelsey another call. I know that she's on standby to come on our show tonight, and I'm not totally sure why we can't get her on at this moment, but which is probably like everybody's worst nightmare. So I'm going to see what I can pull out of here before we continue, and hopefully we can get through her. I don't know why we keep maybe we've gotten a wrong number here. I'll have to check in an email. Actually, you can check in an email for her. At any rate, please share if you have any special baked things. Okay, Michelle says we bake pies. Michelle, what kind of pies do you bake? Donna Collins says I always bake cookies to give to my neighbors. Isn't that nice? I don't know. Did you guys ever participate in those cookie parties where everybody brings? I don't know if you bring how many dozen with you. It's crazy amounts. I think like 10 dozen. If there's, I know it's a dozen for every person that attends, and I'll never ever forget some of those cookie parties that I've attended. And I remember making Yule logs, and I got that from a recipe from good friends of my parents before they were all even married, and it's coconut and cherries and nuts, and it's so delicious. And you just roll it up, and it's beautiful with the flake coconut on the outside, and you just chop it up, and you have a really nice roll, and you can divide it up. But I know that the cookie parties are great, but sometimes you kind of wonder um, about ingredients that people are using, because sometimes their dozen of cookies are pretty tiny compared to the ones you bring. It's all good though, I think. But at any rate, we're still trying to reach our Kelsey on the line here, and so let's see. Michelle, you make apple pies and pecan. John Little says he used to bake apple dumplings. Oh my gosh, that sounds really delicious. Michelle, pecan pies. You know, that is actually one of my favorite. And I have to tell you, have any of you guys ever watched that show Twin Peaks? I never followed it like 30 years ago or whatever, and then they revised it in 2017. But why I'm telling you this is it was filmed not too far from me, about 20 minutes from me. And I only went out to sort of that location when my mom was visiting from Canada a few weeks ago. But at any rate, we went to the cafe, and it was the best cherry pie I've ever had in my life. It was lightly sugared on the top, but the crust was kind of an almond flavor that melted in your mouth. I can't believe it. I know that I want to get a whole pie. You have to kind of pre-order a whole pie, and it's like $20 or whatever, but it's a pretty substantial pie that you would probably order for special occasions. Okay, Donna says I've hosted cookie exchanges, but a lot of people would bring store-bought, kind of defeated the purpose. Yeah, I know, Donna. That kind of surprised me a little bit too. I definitely don't want store-bought. The whole idea for sure is homemade, and I guess you have to kind of maybe have some rules and guidelines to for a cookie party or something like that. So anybody else that bake anything out there that you would like to share with us, because we are actually unfortunately having trouble getting Kelsey on the line here, and I'm not too sure why we cannot. I think maybe what we might do is just call off my cell phone in case she hasn't recognized the phone number that I'm calling from. But I really wanted to know about kind of how does it work? Like, do they get busy during the holiday season? Particularly busy, I would imagine so. And you guys that have been in the parks, what are some of your favorite holiday treats that you have found at the parks? I'd be curious to know. And I think that if we can't get Kelsey on the line, I think we'll just open up the phone lines tonight. If you guys want to give me a call, 844-483-4763. So if you guys want to give me a call, 844-483-4763. And I just actually don't know what happened tonight. I know Kelsey was very excited. She actually has a little story. Her and it was her fiance at the time. They're in book 3, the romance edition, and they actually met doing at culinary school, and they both got not well, sort of like an internship, when they're doing the college program at Walt Disney World. And the long story short of it is they actually went to do the program at the same time. They were dating, they were in love, and they ended up getting engaged at Walt Disney World. And they were just actually married last year. So I know Kelsey's husband works nights as a chef wherever he's working right now, and she works during the day. So we're not having any luck getting a hold of her, though, unfortunately. But if that is the case, we might have to just have the show have Christmas in the kitchen another day. I might have to just do a pre-recorded one. So Donna says, I love the peppermint ice cream at Gibson Girl and the candy cane beignets at Mint Julep Bar. I can't wait to try hot chocolate beignets at Cafe Orleans next week. Oh my goodness, candy cane beignets. I'm just trying to think that do they are they flavored peppermint, or do they crush up the candy cane on there? I'm just wondering how they do that. And the hot chocolate beignets. Now again, what are they making? Are the beignets themselves that flavor, or do they have like a hot chocolate powder mix or whatever? Donna, I'm just trying to get an idea of what kind of how they're making those. I can't imagine. For any of you, Donna is a friend of mine in California, and we spent one of the days I had recently been to Disney together, and really, really enjoyed our time there. And when I had first discovered the minis last year, just had to go back and taste a few more, but they always come up with some amazing flavors. I know one thing that I always find fun is the Christmas, in the bakery, the sweet shops and the parks, and they have all these different caramel apples. I'm a huge caramel apple fan, but I mean, it goes well beyond caramel apples. It's also chocolate coated, and I love the little Santa hats that they put on the Mickey and Minnie caramel apples. And I remember they would do Olaf and just really decorative ones. I find that you can just do so much with to make it festive, these goodies. Donna is saying that they crush up the candy canes, and the hot chocolate ones are chocolate flavored with a chocolate sauce to pour over. Oh my word. Oh my gosh, I wonder if they ship, Donna. That would be really awesome. Anyways, so another thing that I like, that of course I'm a huge gingerbread fan, so I can get those Mickey Mouse gingerbread cookies all year round, and that's one thing that I really, really love to get, of course, because I'm a huge gingerbread fan. But one thing that I noticed is that their gingerbread cookies are quite a bit thicker, and they're a little bit chewier. Mine, they are a little bit chewy on the inside. And we have friends that are vegan, and I learned how to make vegan gingerbread cookies that actually taste the same as regular gingerbread cookies. I just use that sort of egg enhancer. Another cookie I just want to share with you guys, since we're just gonna email Kelsey and just find out, because maybe there's something wrong with her phone system. But how many of you guys out there like those sugar cookies? Oh, Donna's inviting me to go to Disneyland with her on December 4th. Oh my goodness, wouldn't I love to do that? You're making me think here. Maybe I'm going to have to go down just to do a little taste test of these things. At any rate, sugar cookies, you can do them all decorative. I've done two types of sugar cookies that are kind of different. I've done a stained glass sugar cookie where that the hard candies, like the different colors, you divide them up and you pound the heck out of them with the rolling pin so that they're kind of they're not crumbs, but they're in smaller pieces. And what you do is you take the edges of the cookie dough and form it in, the shape of whatever cookie you want, and you pour the hard candy in there. Make sure you spray your pan, of course, but you actually let it bake like that, and the hard candy just melts and flows. And when it's finished baking, you've got this beautiful cookie, and you can actually have this stained glass window effect on your bell or your Christmas tree or whatnot. John says apple cranberry cobbler at Hollywood Studios Dockside Diner. You must try it when you get there. Ooh, apple cranberry cobbler. That sounds really lovely. I haven't had a cobbler in a while, and it's one of those things that reminds me of home. Um, and back in my childhood, and when my mom used to make apple cobblers or apple rhubarb cobblers. So another cookie I wanted to share with you that I make, that is a sugar cookie. It is a sugar cookie shape, and I've got like four different cookie cutters that does either snowflakes or snowmen. I really love gingerbread and I really love snowmen, so that you'll see a lot of those kinds of decorations in my house. And what I do though with the snowman cookies, so I do different sizes, and it was really sweet because when I was expecting it would have been my two sons during the Christmas season. My husband made a little snowman with a little snow baby in the tummy, and also the gingerbread man or woman made a little gingerbread baby in the tummy. And it was very sweet of him to do that. But at any rate, what I do is I decorate it with chocolate. So with the snowman, I'll melt the white chocolate and put a layer of white chocolate on there, and I make sure to get it's kind of like an orange paste, and it's a moldable paste, and I do a little carrot nose because I kind of like 3D a little bit, and then I decorate the rest like with different chips of the chocolate colors for that, and I they're quite labor intensive, but they're absolutely gorgeous and delicious. So I tend to give those one of those to friends or part of my choir for a little Christmas gift with their card. But anyways, we are still trying to reach our girl, and I apologize for not being able to bring you the cold Disney in the kitchen. This is probably a first time for me that our guest somehow something has transpired and she hasn't been with us. And again, my apologies for that. But I am enjoying talking with you guys and sharing some of your Christmas traditions. And if I have a chance to interview Kelsey on another occasion, I will definitely let you know. But there's one little thing I just wanted to leave with you that is another tradition in our family that it's kind of labor intensive. And when you've got kids that are a bit older, they're college or out of college or in just busy with their school, you often don't get a lot of time to do that. And I'm not sure, Donna Collins, if you are finding that to be able to do stuff with your family and kids. But one of the things I have is my grandmother's recipe for mint patties, and it's a beautiful mint patty. We make our own fondant. We do the dipping. We seal it with, the special chocolate that you actually put. You shave off a little bit of wax in there, and that's what gives it its glossy look. And it's absolutely beautiful. But when you have little kids, I don't know about you, but my kids really didn't like mint flavor. So, one of the big things in our family when the kids were little was George, Curious George, our little monkey. And my sons both had a little Curious George for themselves, a little stuffy. And so, what we decided to do is make George's chocolates. So, some of the fondant was reserved for George's chocolates, and we put the banana flavoring in. And then we just shape them like little bananas, which is pretty easy shape to do. And we dip them. And so those became George's chocolates in our family. So it was really, really cute. And then the third flavor we decided to do was a cherry flavor. So we do a fondant and we put a cherry flavor in there. And now again, these are all hand dipped chocolates with beautiful fondants. Before I had children and that, I would make my own chocolates. I'd make little turtles. I'd get those molds, make little turtles, and I would even make the sort of the I'm trying to think the name of it, but I think they're like a Queen Anne kind of cherry with a runny filling inside. I would actually make those. And I remember when I was a little girl, the whole caramel bar, which you can't get in the US, but they're really lovely bars by Cadbury. And there's the whole stick about that was about how to get the caramel running inside. I'm not still too sure how they did that part, but I know for me, it sounds really maybe corny to say, but it was quite magical to get my mold of chocolate and I put in this special powder fondant and then seal it. And then after a while, I guess it just turned to a liquid inside. So that's how I made my special cherry chocolates. Donna says, my grandmother was Croatian and I'll be teaching my daughter how to make oh boy, povatica, which is a chocolate walnut swirl bread. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I butchered the name, but that sounds lovely. I love I love baking at Christmas because it's those traditions from our grandparents, great grandparents that we can bring forward and teach our children. I absolutely love that, Donna. That's so lovely. John says, I love mint patties. Maybe you can share the recipe some evening. John, funny you say that. So I'm not allowed to share that recipe, but maybe I should send you a few. And I found that out in a really kind of fun and sterling way. So a friend of mine, when I was living in Canada, she wanted the recipe too. So I was filling it out and I gave it to her. And I don't know, but it came up in a conversation with my mom. And she said I wasn't allowed to share that. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I asked for it back. That was kind of silly, but I asked for the recipe back and I promised her that I would make her some instead. And she was very gracious about it. But I guess I don't know, do you guys have any recipes in your family that you're not allowed to share? I know KFC, had his Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe that was kept in the family. But oh, Donna said that she spelled it phonetically for me. Okay, that's great. I hope I said that okay. Something you just reminded me, Donna. Uh, Something that I had started, and I'm trying to remember if I did it every year, but I don't know if you guys have a bread machine, but I have my bread machine from 27 years ago. Yes, it still works. It was a Hitachi. I got it, I guess, during my wedding shower. Everybody pooled together, and they got me this bread maker. And I'm telling you, it's the greatest thing. And I make not focaccia. It's oh, good Lord, what is the name? Panettone. There you go. The really nice fruit bread, and it's so easy to do. And I used to so you bake it, and it would kind of be vertical in that, and I put the white icing on, and it would drizzle down the side just beautifully, not too thick, not too runny, so it could kind of end its run halfway down the side, and then top it off with candy fruit. Oh my gosh, I was amazed at myself because it actually looked beautiful. And I would go to the bakery and offer to buy, like Safeway or whatever, buy the long plastic clear bags, and I would put a bow on top, and I'd give that away to friends also, and I loved it. And one of the ingredients in there was anise, which is a really nice. It's kind of smells like licorice, but I mean, you just use a pinch of it, and then of course it's got the fruit and stuff like that in it. But it's a really really lovely bread, and I'm going to have to make some of that this year because I know I'm trying to get my stuff organized for Christmas, but I'm going to have to do some of it just before Christmas. We've got a kind of a crazy schedule this year because we head off to Alani on the 14th of December, and we fly back in the wee early hours of the 20th of December to sleep for about 6 or 7 hours. We have to have our bags packed because we are going to go to a place called Leavenworth, Washington, which is a really cute Bavarian village. And my sons are coming out of retirement, and they're going to perform with the Celtic Yuletide. The group there's many instrumentalists and singers, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm so excited because I didn't think I was going to see my sons dance again. So it was like one of those things that just it happened to come our way a few weeks ago, and I'm honestly telling you that as a mom, it's like the best Christmas present ever to be able to do that. And then we get back on the 21st. So we've got a double show, but something that is so magical about it. So I grew up in Alberta. I was born in Saskatchewan, which are part of the prairie provinces in Canada. I'm getting choked up with thinking about my son's dancing again. But anyways, so there's snow like 6, 7 months of the year. So now I live in Seattle, and there isn't snow. Maybe there are some snow days, and you might have the occasional few days of snow. But anyways, in Leavenworth, this Bavarian village is just laden with snow, and we have a cabin. All the people that perform and all that all have cabins in the woods, and it's so lovely because um, it's right across from the Snowy Owl Theater where the performances are, and it's right next door to it's called the Sleeping Lady, and it's beautiful hotel cabins again in the woods, and they have carolers all around. They have fires going all around, and it's just a beautiful property, and it's a beautiful gathering of family and friends. This will be the 41st year of the Celtic Yuletide show, so that's where we're going to be. And then we come back the 22nd. We have our annual Christmas party on the 23rd, and it's Christmas. So it's going to be just a lovely, fun filled event. So I'm trying to get a few things done. My Christmas cakes, my fruit cakes are done, the same ones that Mark Silverman tried. That it was my grandmother's recipe. And so just getting excited. But you guys, I just thank you so much for um, bearing with me tonight. And I'm so sorry that it didn't work out with our guest. I don't know what happened. I hope she's okay. But I hope you enjoyed this show at any rate. And I've got a couple of really, really neat guests coming on that you probably have not. You know of them, you know of the family, you know of the television series, and I'm going to leave that carrot dangling in front of you because I'll make the announcement next Sunday who will be on the show, and we'll make sure that that my guest tonight is okay, and maybe we will be able to do another quick show with her and just get it up for you in a pre-recorded time at another time. All right. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next week. I wish you guys a very happy Thanksgiving. I know I'm so grateful and so thankful for everything in my life, my family, my friends, and to be able to do this every week and my writing. and to be able to study. I officially started my master's today, and oh, Donna, thank you so much. Drink some tea with lemon and honey. Yes, I've got to do that because I've got to get over this. I had to push myself yesterday because I went to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, the concert last night, and really had to, I wasn't going to miss out on that, that's for sure. But again, happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys, and we'll see you next Monday. Please, you guys, be safe, be well, and take care. Bye for now.